Ladies and gentlemen, the Global Town Hall 2023 was proudly supported by the delegation of the European Union in Indonesia, Global Citizen, and Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia. Thank you also to our media partners, Harian Rakyat Merdeka Online, Kompas Gramedia, Kompas TV, Berita1.com, Business Indonesia, See Today, and Liputan6.com. We would also like to give a big thank you to all of our 153 partners of the Global Town Hall, consisting of 52 international think tanks, 42 universities, and 59 civil society organizations around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment we will listen to the opening remarks by the founder and chairman of Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia, Dr. Dino Patti Djalal. But before this, please enjoy the following video looking back at 2023 so far.
It's therefore with great hope that I declare COVID-19 over as a global health emergency.
The UN agency has lifted its highest alert level, which was in place for more than 3 years.
Yeah, meanwhile, this is heading back to the process.
As you watch out, Vina. Slava наших героїв. Slava. Without some back together, just really living.
1 year ago, the world was bracing for the fall of Kyiv. Well, I just come from a visit to Kyiv, and I can report Kyiv stands strong. Kyiv stands proud. It stands tall.
Why should every country have to be tied the dollar for trade? Who decided the dollar healthy?
Iran and Saudi Arabia have agreed to re-establish diplomatic relations, reopen embassies within 2 months.
And the Oscar goes to Michelle Yeoh.
This is an historic day to the security of all NATO member states.
God save the king.
We begin in Turkey, where Recep Tayyip Erdogan has won the presidential runoff election.
Global Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has extended invitations to South Korea, Australia, India, Brazil, Vietnam, Indonesia, Comoros, and the Cook Islands.
Mr. Lincoln's executive region scheduled for February 5 is put on hold after the US found what it said was the Chinese.
Finalist Modi announced a bilateral initiative for critical and emerging technology termed as ICET. The twin leaders directed their governments to work together on advanced technology from AI to semiconductor chips and quantum computing, especially in defense.
Well, as it turned out yesterday, July 4th, ended up being the world's hottest day on record. We say it again. The hottest day ever recorded since we began keeping track.
The record for hottest day on Earth was broken again for the second day
With military alliance, including how or when Ukraine could become a member. NATO Secretary General says he supports fast-track the membership.
With the results of what happened in the parliament today, I accepted that I'm not.
Elon Musk is through the old and with the new. You're looking at that new logo there. The tech billionaire announced a massive rebranding of as an fish which described the end as the old friend, but said the climate change could not be stepped up.
Described as his worst natural disaster in Hawaii.
19-year-old Noah Tompkins says his mother and younger brother diving into the ocean to escape the
the parliament in Bangkok has voted for the candidate of her Thai party, Seta Thalasat.
The membership in the taking figure.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. This is Dino Patti Djalal from Indonesia. I want to welcome everybody who is watching the Global Town Hall today. I'm informed that there are over 24,000 participants from 120 countries or 130 countries. That's really unbelievable. The Global Town Hall is an event which is one of a kind. You know, the idea came when I was in a hospital bed suffering from COVID-19, and we were all locked up in our own rooms. And I was wondering, how do we get out of this? And how do we get societies and countries to work together to end the pandemic? And the result is an online global town hall, which until today has gathered about almost 60,000 people from all regions of the world. A global town hall has two main features. One is the East, West, North, South dimension. So all our dialogue by necessity have to include all these elements of North, South, East, and West. And why? Because we're seeing the emergence of divisions, of tensions, of mistrust in many parts of the globe, and we notice that a great deal of this dialogue is one-sided or elitist, not reaching to the top. And also, many of the global south say that there's just too much judgment. You know, people being judgmental towards us, and so on. So this is why we insist that this has to be a dialogue of East, West, North, South as equals, and without anyone being judgmental on the other. So that's the one key part of it. The other one is the element of civil societies. So even though we have world leaders taking part, leading minds, international icons, the real stars are really civil societies that are taking part in this conversation. The universities, the think tanks, the activists, and all segments of the grassroots, right? So these are the real stars of the Global Town Hall, and we've been able to reach them by a door knock approach. So our talented team of staff find any country in the world, and we door knock their emails, their phones, their websites, and ask them to collaborate. And to be honest, many of them come and say, hey, you know what? No one ever called us. And you know what? Yes, we look at these international meetings, but no one, but we don't feel part of these global conversations, right? And we have a lot to say, but really we don't feel invested in the world order. So that's the background for the Global Town Hall: East, West, North, South, and civil society driven. And our ambition is really just to be able to connect, to have civil societies to connect, converse, and possibly collaborate. And in its fourth year, I hope the Global Town Hall will grow to be a formidable force in international relations. I think Global Town Hall is a form of grassroots multilateralism, is a form of Main Street globalism. And the basic idea is that without civil societies in any country, without civil societies, there can be no successful development, there can be no deep cooperation, there can be no good governance, and there can be no durable peace. So thank you for joining us. This is going to be a long marathon discussions of 15 hours covering all time zones of the world. And I want to thank our partner, Global Citizen, who have the same DNA with us. These are young people who just driven by idealism, a desire care for the world and to make the world a better place. To convene this event, you will be interested to know that there will be 46,000 hours clocked by the youth in Indonesia and the youth that are involved in the Global Citizen. And they have one message to make, which is the same message being said by all the civil society organizations taking part, which is this is our world too. And we need to act together and we need to move together as one humanity. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the Global Town Hall.
Thank you, Dr. Dino, for your remarks. And now we would like to welcome the co-founder and Chief Policy, Impact, and Government Relations Officer of Global Citizen, Michael Sheldrick.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, north, south, east, west, welcome to the fourth edition of the Global Town Hall. Together with Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia, Global Citizens is proud for the second year running to bring you this extraordinary event. There are over 10,000 of you, probably more, already tuning in and listening to what is going to be an incredible action-packed 15 hours. Right now, if you've got social media at your fingertips, send a message, encourage your friends and networks to also log in. It's not too late. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Over the next 15 hours, you're going to hear about some incredible issues, how artificial intelligence can be used for good, how we can address critical issues like deforestation in a way that also brings pathways out of poverty for the guardians, indigenous communities who are doing so much for the planet. You'll hear about how we can support an orderly phase out from fossil fuel, a just transition to ensure no country gets left behind. And importantly, we are here for civil society after all, from around the world. You'll hear about how we can support human rights defenders, those people on the front line, because after all, citizen-led accountability is key to delivery. And we need to ensure that civil society doesn't just have a seat at the table, but they have an equal say in decision-making, especially when those decisions concern that. And of course, as is true of Global Citizen and the Global Town Hall, this is about ideas, but it's also about impact. The next 15 hours is a playbook on how you can create change in your local community. And so, as you watch and you engage in these conversations, be active, promote the conversation, ask questions, but also take action. You'll see QR codes pop up. Take those actions, whether it's signing a petition to support the Non-Proliferation Treaty on Fossil Fuels, whether it's supporting an end to illegal deforestation, or whether it's supporting the Bridgetown Initiative, Prime Minister Motley's incredible agenda to bring financial equity and ensure countries on the front line of climate change have the means to respond. Lastly, we've got an exciting announcement here at Global Citizen today that we're announcing exclusively to all of you first, and that is in March next year, we will be hosting the Global Citizen Youth Leadership Prize. And if you are aged between 18 and 30 and live in the Indo-Pacific region, you may be eligible, provided you are making an impact in your local community on the Sustainable Development Goals. Check it out. Go to Global Citizen. Apply. If you know another young person aged between 18 and 30 who lives in the Indo-Pacific region, encourage them to apply. Lastly, I want to thank my very good friend, Pak Dino, and his extraordinary crew at the Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia. You guys do such an amazing job. I hope you get a chance to enjoy this, as well as a long rest after this. Again, it's our privilege and it's our extreme honor to be part of this. And I'd also want to thank everyone at Global Citizen that's contributed, especially our tireless leader and advocate, Ruben. You're incredible. Thanks for rallying us all together. And with that, welcome again to the Global Town Hall. You are an important force for good. I'll see you again throughout the program and at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mick. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let us start today's 15-hour marathon discussion. Please enjoy the Global Town Hall 2023.